It's the first day of winter. I know we've kind of already been here, but it's now properly the first day of winter, and we are going on a nugget hunt. Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome back to Seasons in the Valley. It's 8 o'clock and the sun is only just coming up. The days really are getting shorter and shorter. Right, I'm trying to remember where the nuggets are around the farm, because it's been a long while since I did the nugget hunt around here. And I honestly can't remember where the nuggets are that are around the farm, apart from the ones that I've already grabbed. You know, obviously the one in the chicken coop. I don't think there are any in this garden. Oh, there's one there, look. We're up to 3 nuggets. And like I said, it's been so long, I can't remember where they all are around here. So what I'm probably going to do... Oh, there's another one there, look. I'll grab that one. I'm probably going to work my way into the town. And from there, I'll grab a nice easy load right near the store, because I know where the ones in the store are. So I'm going to teleport my way over there, and then we're going to kind of do the rest of this on foot. So let's see. Where is the shop? There it is. So I know there's some up here. We've got one somewhere around this unit just here. There it is. And there's another one by these bunkers at the back. I don't think there's one over there. There we go. I want to check actually, seeing as we've advanced time a little bit. I just want to see what my price for wood chips is like right now. No, it's going down. Ugh. I'm still gutted that the Great Demand reset itself at midnight. I was just like, oh, I had that 1 hour that I was going to just sell 300, try and sell all 300,000 litres in that silo, and nope, it wasn't going to let me do that. I thought there might have been another one. It's in this here, isn't it? Yes, there it is. Okay, so I need 3 more. There's actually one on top of that dino, if I remember rightly. So we'll probably have to grab that one last, but I might need to bring a vehicle up for that one. Was there one in the court? No, I don't think there was, but there is. Where's the park? Here it is. There's nuggets in here. I remember showing these ones when I did my map tour. There's one over here in these bushes. There it is. And then there's one in this fountain. There's that one. And there's another one over here in the bandstand, as you can see. And there we go. We've got 10 nuggets. So now we've just got to kind of wander around and grab the rest of them in this area. Let's see. There we go. There are actually... I mean, the patch that's coming for this map is going to fix it, but there are 2 nuggets on the map that are hard to find, very hard to find. So the way to find them, if you still don't know where they are, is down here. It's just here, look. This one here, it disappears when you zoom out a little bit. So if I zoom out, there you see. There's that one. And the other one is up here by the side of 41. So again, if I zoom out, it disappears. If I zoom in, it reappears. Those are the 2 nuggets that everyone seemed to struggle to find, but that's how you find them. They are there. You just have to kind of zoom the map in a little bit to show you exactly where they are. So, right, I don't think you particularly want to see me just slowly wander around and grab all 100 of these nuggets. It's going to take a little while to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and collect the rest of these, and then I will see you once we are done. Well, that's not a 50, that's halfway. Still a few more to get. Not many nuggets left now. Most of them are here at this farm, and also at one of our other farms as well. But we're going to need our telehandler. I forgot that this map is kind of a throwback in some respects, that this actually has some really quite tricky nuggets to actually get to. They're tucked away in some quite high places. So the telehandler is definitely going to be needed to be able to reach the upper levels of certain barns, so we can get in there and grab those nuggets. So that's why I kind of saved the farm here towards the end, so I could come back and get the telehandler while I was at it. And there's another one in here, apparently, or around the back. Gone past it, apparently. Ah, there it is. Right, so just 4 more left over at this part of the farm. Of course, there's the one up there on those bales. I might have already taken that one, I can't remember. Let's shortcut up the ladder. You can see we've got our bales here. I've heard people say that their hay bales, once wrapped, have turned into silage. As you can see, these are still showing as hay, so maybe they just scanned the wrong bale when they sent, they said that their bales had turned to silage. But I say, as you just saw, I scanned mine, and my hay bales are still hay. So the only thing I can think of is whoever scanned the bales thought they were scanning hay bales that they'd wrapped, and were actually scanning just standard grass bales, or they just forgot to ted, or didn't ted when it was dry enough, and therefore didn't actually get a proper tedding. There's a number of different possibilities for that, but yeah, wrapped bales will stay, wrapped hay bales will stay as hay. They won't ferment into silage, as you just saw there. Right, where do I need to be for this next nugget? There it is. Nope, that's not a nugget. Where is this next nugget? Other side of the wall. Ah, there it is, next to the old lizard tractor. And there's one in here, if I remember rightly. Yep, there it is. And then one out by the cows themselves. Somewhere up here, near the manure pit, or the slurry pit. Or is it actually inside? It might be inside. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so the ones that we have left are this one over at this farm here, because that's tucked up high, so we're going to need the telehandler for that. And then there's another one hidden away up in an upstairs location over there, so we need the telehandler over there. And then this one here at the shop, and obviously we need the telehandler for that as well. So let's go grab the telehandler. I don't know where I am now. I'm a bit turned around. Let's just close that door. The telehandler normally lives up there now. Yes, there it is. It was a bit further back than I thought. So we'll drop off the rear weight. And we'll drop off the claw as well. And we'll start by making our way over to the yellow dot just above field 80, way out there on the left. That'll be our first port of call. One thing you can see now that we are into winter again, well, I say again, now that we're into winter properly, and it's that time of year where it's just the whole area's transformed back into a kind of a desolate wasteland again. You can see it's just brown fields everywhere that can't be worked because it's too cold. The grass has been cut down to its sort of smallest growth state. The trees and the bushes all look dead essentially. There's just so little life left on the map. All the colour seems to have gone from the map. Even the sky, I mean, it might just be the reflection from in here, but even the light just feels colder. It doesn't have that same warmth and glow of summer light, and then it's like 11 o'clock, quarter past 11 now. So the sun is definitely up, but it doesn't have that same intensity, that same warm glow that you get in summer and parts of autumn as well. So yeah, definitely noticeable. Things are at the colder end of the year, and as you can see, we have got snow coming in a couple of days as well. Kind of hoping we get quite a bit of snow, because I really want to see what this place looks like, covered in snow. I think it's going to look pretty special. So here's our first objective. We're going to go in through these small gates just here. And our nugget is up there. So, oops. There we go. Let's just move a little bit closer. Excellent. And there you see, there is our nugget. Right, now we've got to go do the diner. And then all that's left is the small blue farm over where we've been acquiring land. So I'm trying to remember how to there we go, pull the arm back in. It's weird trying to do it inside a cab. It just feels a little bit strange, a little bit weird to do that. Let's just lift the arm up a little bit. There we go. Right, off to the diner to grab that one that's left in Villeneuve, and then off to the blue farm. Okay, so here's the diner. As you can tell, it's taking us a while to get around the map because I'm sticking to the speed limits as I do like to do. So this time, there we go. Move a little bit closer. There we go. Careful not to damage the diner. Yeah, angry owner coming at me with a frying pan or something. Right, excellent, there we go. So, just the blue farm left. Look at the reflection of that light on the side of the tractor there. It's pretty special. There we go, right, off to the blue farm. And here we are as we enter Coldstream, arriving at the entrance of the blue farm. This is going to be where we start to set up some of our equipment, I think, through year 2. Maybe not all of it. Probably a lot of it we'll keep at the main farm, but little bits we'll start to bring over this way, I think, as we acquire more and more pieces of equipment. So, let's start by opening up the mini-map. So there's quite a few little nuggets hidden around here. We'll grab all the ones that we can on foot before we do the next bit. There's usually one hiding in a barn. Yep, there it is. This one is no exception. Now our nugget is up there, our hidden nugget. So we'll see if we can get the rest of the ones on the ground. Let's see. They're over this way. There's one right here somewhere. Moving away from it. Is that the one in the barn that I'm picking up here? Oh, there it is. And there's another one just there in those bushes. Then there's that one that's up on that level there. And then the last one. It's 98. I've got two more. So one of them is up there. Where's the other one? Are they both up there? I don't think there are two up there. Apparently I'm standing right on top of this one. But I'm not seeing it at all. Well, let's get the other one out of the way so I can make sure that I've definitely not tracking the wrong nugget. Maybe they are both up there. And of course, there's no ladder here, so we kind of have to do this with something like a telehandler. Yeah, I was tracking the wrong one, look. Okay, so the other one. Ah, I forgot we can go inside here. It's there at the workshop, look. There we go, we have all the nuggets. So that means it's time to go shopping. So, we were going to buy fields 35, 36, 37, 38. That's the other reason I left this bit till last, is because we can then go straight over to those fields and buy them. So, let's just raise that up just a touch. There we go. Let's go over and acquire our new land. You can see it's quite a big sort of steep hill. Now we could keep these as individual fields, but what I want to do is start linking them together in the spring. Now I did consider linking all four of them together, but what I'm going to do is, because they're pretty good sized fields, is I'm actually going to link them two at a time. So we've got this field here and this field here, 37 and 38, and they will become a field. And then 35 and 36 will become a second field. So we'll do it like that. And then in the future, as the farm grows and we get bigger and bigger equipment, then we can maybe look at combining those two new fields into just one field. And there we go. We have our four new fields there. Now the next field that we need to buy is field 55. That's over by the it's over by the pigs. So we're going to do that on the way back from the store, because we have a little bit of new equipment that we need to buy as well. Now I ummed and ahed, and you know, I had that big sort of mental moral dilemma: do I go with a T7 or a T8? And I really wanted to go with the T7, but I've thought about it, and just from a sheer practicality point of view, and you know, the comments you guys have been putting it in, you know, in the video messages and stuff like that, yeah, you're all agreeing with that, is that we really kind of do need a T8. We need that little bit of extra power. I mean, there's so many steep hills on this that, I mean, I kind of liked the concept and the theory of having two T7s, one that was more powerful, and that was the blue power was the more powerful of the two T7s, but that one struggles on some of those fields so much with our seeder that it meant it became too much of a chore. Now the other option would have been to maybe just switch out the seeders, but then that becomes a very expensive thing to do. You know, our seeder is around 100,000, and we'd have to buy, I don't know, maybe the Lemken seeder, which is 12 meters, That would be 130,000, 140,000, I think, maybe even a little bit more than that. Plus, we'd have depreciation of our current seeder, so we would lose money on that anyway. Oh, get away from that lag across the field here. So yeah, it's for the sake of practicality and the fact that our farm is getting bigger and we need to get through some of these jobs a little bit quicker this year, we are going to go with a T8. It's just, it's an extra 30,000, but on the grand scheme of things, 30,000 isn't that much on the base price difference. And considering it would cost us, I don't know, maybe 20,000 or so to uprate the engine of a T7 to 313 horsepower, you're then talking a negligible difference for a tractor that still has more power at a base level than a fully upgraded T7. So, yeah, we'll go with the T8. Practicality wins out over, over passion. Mind beats the heart. But we do need to really kind of be a bit more practical in our second year. We need to think a little bit more long term, I think. So yeah, we will get the T8 instead. So right, that's in place. Engine off. Let's teleport ourselves over to the store and let's go buy a T8. So scrolling through, just out of curiosity, what would the price for the engine upgrade be? 12.5 grand. So they say it'd be 243,000, and for 262, less than 19,000 more, we get a T8 which has 320 horsepower as standard, and we can go for an extra 30 grand, which we're not going to do. We can go up to 380, and then for 57.5 we can go up to 435. And again, we've got a choice of wheel options as well. We've got wheel weights, wide tyres, the crawler track, so that we can make it into the T8 smart track that we had in Farming Sim 15. Twin wheels, which on this do look awesome, I have to say, and then just rear twins, and then just back to standard. So we're going to stick with just standard, but that is what we're going to buy. There we go. So we have a T8 ready and waiting for us. It's big and it's imposing. And there it is, our brand new tractor. Welcome to the farm. Our little T8 320 there. It's got a really nice cab actually. I haven't spent that much time in a T8 at all, really, in Farming Sim 17. Now, I have been doing a little bit of fun farming on my own on New Bartleshagen, just on my own little private farm. I don't get much time on it because I have to uninstall one of the maps I'm using for a Let's Play series to reinstall New Bartleshagen, and then switch back again afterwards so I can carry on recording on a Let's Play series. And it's awkward and it's difficult to, and time consuming to keep swapping out mod maps like that. Really hoping Giants gets its act together for mod storage for Farming Sim 19. But yeah, that's what I've been sort of messing around on there, and I have been using T8s on that. But that's about the only time I've really used them. I don't tend to use these at all for some reason. I love the T7 and I love the T9, but the T8, which was one of my favourite tractors in Farming Sim 15, has barely had any love from me at all on Farming Sim 17 for whatever reason. I don't know why. Just barely used it. So I suppose it's kind of poetic that we're going with it here on Seasons in the Valley. It's time to acquire that extra field now as well. Just here, field 55. So let's pull in off the road. And there we go. We have field 55 as well. So this serves two purposes. This gives us a great field to do something with. We can either plant grass on this, or we can do what I was thinking of doing was doing some poplars on this field. I mean, I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking it might be a little bit too big for poplars, but we could also put corn on this, and we could do some corn chaffing on this field, and it means that we will no longer have that "you do not own this field" issue on this entire strip and a bit of this field here. So we'll gain extra grass effectively on this field that we'll be able to work with. So yeah, it serves two purposes. Gives us a nice extra piece of land, a good sized piece of land, and also frees up a little bit of the land that we already had as well. Now, one of the other things I've been thinking of as well is that we maybe didn't have enough grass fields last time out. So I have been thinking about replanting one of our existing fields into grass, and what I've also been thinking about is maybe acquiring a couple of small fields that we could use for grass as well. And I've been looking at fields 53 and 54 in the middle of the forest. I kind of like the idea of having a couple of meadows in the middle of the forest like that we can just, you know, take our equipment through on the track and then do some mowing in there. I don't know. I might just go for one of the existing grass fields that we have. I mean, there's plenty of those dotted around, but we will be able to make a fair bit of extra cash. I just don't want to go too crazy and put ourselves in big financial jeopardy again like we did this year. Obviously, we still need to be able to pay off some of our loan, and I want to bring in that New Holland harvester, the forage harvester, and that's going to cost us, including both the headers, around 430,000 euros. Now that's pretty much almost everything that we have left from our nuggets. However, you know, we're not going to be buying that until the summer, so there's no immediate rush to buy that. Plus, we have got our wood chips and our logs to sell throughout winter, and on top of that we also have our crops to sell through winter all the way through to next summer, as they each come into their best window of selling. So it's not like, you know, this is the only money we're ever going to get for the year, because we've got plenty more to come. And we do have some bales down at the BGA. Now, I don't think they're going to be ready to sell just yet, but we do have those as well. So there we go. There is our new vehicle lineup in terms of tractors for next year. We have a T6, a T7 and a T8. A good little selection there. We've got something here that can have the skinny wheels fitted and be great for going on and doing fertilizing work, and can also run our mowers. We have our T7 here, which we'll use probably for ploughing and also for running the baler, and then we have our T8, which will mainly probably be used for planting, but I might use it for a couple of other things as well. Maybe running trailers full of grain, things like that. I don't know. So yeah, that's our equipment lineup in terms of tractors for year 2. And here now, as it stands, is our field lineup for year 2 as well. We have this field here, which, as you can see, has got some oilseed radish growing on it. That's you know, the field that we created last year. We got a good yield of corn off that field. We have these brand new fields that we've acquired. 35 and 36 are going to be a field. 37 and 38 are going to be the next field, and then we have these ones we acquired just recently, 44, 45 and 46, all ploughed into one single field, currently with oilseed radish growing on. And then we also have 26 and then 24 and 25, again with radishes growing. And then we have our original fields down here. So 51 and 52 are linked together. They've had a cover crop planted and cultivated back in and are now ready for spring. Field 91, which has got our winter barley, that's growing on it nice and steadily. 63 and 92 linked together, and again have had radish planted and cultivated, so they are ready for planting straight away at the start of spring. 83 is our little grass field here. 62 is our other grass field, and that's it for grass fields. And this is why I think maybe we need a little bit more grass fields. Obviously we've got 93 just here as well. 55 here I think is a little bit too good to be a grass field. I think that could be something so much more special than grass. So I don't know where. Maybe we could look at something. I'm looking around to see where the small grass fields are. Obviously we've got 47, that's up here by this part of the farm here. Let's just take a quick look at this and see what size it is. You see, this is a workable field as well. You can see we've got that sort of pea green kind of colour and the mud showing through to indicate that this is a workable field. You can see the distinction as we cross off the border onto default native grass to workable grass. You can see that distinction there, and it's not a bad little size field, this. And again, it's up where we have been acquiring land, so this would be, you know, a field that makes sense as a next purchase kind of thing. It's a natural kind of location to kind of link in with what we've been buying. It's near where we're going to be setting up some of our equipment in here as well, so that kind of makes sense. Let's just check out the price of this field and see just how much this is. This isn't something we're going to necessarily buy today, but I'm looking at fields that we can work towards purchasing throughout the course of next year. So this field here is 73,000. That's not too bad. Right, let's see what else we've got that are grass fields that we could look at. There's 22 over here. That's 23 actually. This is 22. And 22, this backs onto our fields over there. Now, this field here costs 94, so that's a little bit more expensive. That's probably a little bit too expensive. I don't really want to spend a huge amount of money. Now, the thing with this field here, 54, this is really cheap. This is only about 35 grand. I mean, it's not a huge field, but I think this as a meadow would be perfect. And I think, yeah, in fact, I'm pretty certain I'm actually going to buy this right now and turn this into a meadow. This is going to be grass. So we'll put grass on this, and then I just like the idea of having grass meadow tucked away in this clearing inside the forest. It's a really good location, I think. And then, I don't know what, you know, that's going to be a long way off this field here. This is about 130,000, I think. 124, give or take. It's a good size, as you can see, but it's just too expensive. But this is so cheap, we can actually go ahead and just buy this right now. And then we'll put some grass on this, and then we'll turn this into a proper grass field for us next year. We'll have an extra field that we can mow. Now this needs to be planted day one, so we'll be ploughing this up on the very first day and planting it with grass on the very first day, assuming that yeah, see, grass temperature is only 3 degrees and we can plant on the very first day of spring. You can see there the planting window. That needs to be planted immediately on day one, because otherwise, as you saw from our experiences with field 62, that just didn't grow back in time for a second cut. So we want to get this one up and running as a little meadow sort of straight away, and then it links up being quite close to 93, so we've got the ability to actually just transfer the equipment between those two fields pretty quickly and easily. So that makes a lot of sense as well. There are no other grass fields up here, so that kind of stopped me from going ahead and immediately buying 47, because until we have some, you know, secondary mowing gear up here and we actually do move into this farm, then it's a long way to come just for one small field like that. Whereas this one here, as a meadow, being so close to 93, means it gives more reason to actually come over and do field 93, because we've got 54 right opposite it, you know, just right on the other side of the road. So that is our field lineup for the next calendar year as well. So what else can we get done today, now that we've, you know, used up half the day, and we've only really got maybe 3 hours of daylight left before it starts to get really dark? Well, we can start working on clearing out some of these trees. So what I'm going to do is take out some of these trees here with the chainsaw, so that we can start clearing a section of this, ready to expand this field throughout the course of next year. So I'm trying to find a good point where the ground doesn't slope too much, and I think this is going to be our cut-off point just here. So if I chop down this tree, let's chop it down so it falls in that direction. what we're going to do is we're going to clear out some of these trees, make a kind of a border or a boundary. And this is the area where we will be sort of pushing this field out a little bit as the year progresses. So I'm going to start cutting some of these trees down, and then over the sort of the next few days, you know, while we've got no other real work that we can get done, we could be grinding up some of these trees and maybe selling some as wood, maybe selling some as wood chips. You know, we do still have plenty of wood chips to sell as well, but I'm going to be removing, you know, quite a lot of trees in this little section here. I don't want to go too crazy, and we're not going to be really cutting into the land until towards the end of the year, because part of the thing that I want to do is I want to be able to obviously buy field 50 next year, you know, through sort of crop sales and product sales and stuff, and then link that into 52 and 51. And I want to just take some of this area, and so I can get a smooth kind of transition, or a smoother transition from 52 straight through to 50, and just really gain a nice little extra bit of land. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to cut down some of these trees. Just cutting them down today. We're not going to actually do any work with them, just going to cut them. That was odd. The tree just kind of dropped. It wants to fall. Look at that, we've we cut it and the stump just disappeared. That's weird, I've never seen that happen before. It's very odd. See if it happens with this tree as well. No, see, the stump stayed on that one. That was odd. So yeah, this is kind of our line here that we're going to be running. So this tree's next. Of course, we're going to have to grind out the stumps. So we're going to be bringing our skid steer back over to get rid of the stumps once we've dealt with the trees themselves. And then we'll be ploughing up this section of land in our spare time when we're not working on these fields. Probably this will be sort of worked on next autumn in terms of the actual land work itself, once we've got our crop out of the way and we've got field 50 purchased and added to our roster. We'll then, you know, start work on grinding up this bit of land here so we can expand it in. But there's nothing to stop us from at least clearing the trees out over winter, making a little bit of extra cash, and just getting as much of the ground ready as we can to limit how much work we're going to have to do when time is against us and every second counts. Some of these are these really big oak trees that are just horrible to work with when it comes to actually cutting trees down. They take an eternity to get rid of because they are so cumbersome, I suppose is the word I'm looking for. I mean, I may possibly even just, as far as these oak trees go, I may just grind those up with a Xylor and not even try and work those. But obviously these fir trees here, we can definitely do something with these. These are going to be really easy to work with. So I've got no problem working those ones. This tree next as well. Difficult to see when you've got all these bushes. It's difficult to see what angle you're at and what angle you're cutting at. It's easy to get turned around when you've got no point of reference that you can actually visibly see. And then obviously that tree's going to come out, and this tree's going to come out, and we can actually put a curve in as well. So there's still more trees that we can get rid of, and this is going to be a gradual process. We can always come back, and once we've cleared away the trees that we're cutting down now, we can then maybe go out and cut some more as well. See, there's nothing to stop us from taking out a couple, a row of trees all the way up there and extending the width of that field once we get access to it as well. So there's a lot of work that we can do, a lot of trees that we can get rid of while actually having a minimal impact on this forest area here. I don't really want to mess with that forest too much. And also, you know, let's say the ground, as you can see, gets really slopey inside there. You know, a lot of, you know, very steep hills and gradients that would just make it too difficult to work as a field, I think. It's a shame we can't do some kind of terraforming. Alright, this should be interesting. See what happens to that tree when we cut down this one. And look how thick this trunk is. Yeah, there's a lot of money in the trunks of these trees. Not much anywhere else, but there's so much money in the trunks because they are so thick. I mean, just look at the size of this thing. Yeah, it's huge when you compare it to this, but you know, these are long, but they're straight, and you get really good, good amounts of wood from those trees. So, right, there we go. That's a good line that we've cut all the way through there. Look, there's maybe one more that we can get rid of, which is the one that we're running straight towards. This one here. Yeah, let's take this one out as well. We'll get that one to fall that way. Excellent. Right, so let's clean up these trees. There we go. Gives a much kind of clearer view of what it is that we've cut down, and just how much land we'll be able to expand our field with. And I say it's a pretty good sized stretch of field that we can add in there. We're not necessarily going to use all of that width, but we'll certainly use a fair amount of it. We do still need to keep a little bit of space, you know, separation. But it's not like this is going to be a turning area anymore. We're not going to be running up and down this field anymore. We're going to be running across it because it's going to be joined in with that field. So the direction that we'll be running will be this way rather than that way. So we don't need to have a big turning area between the field and the forest anymore, which is good. Let's defoliate and delimb as much of these as I can. There's definitely something that we can do with these trees. I just don't know. It was so much hassle chipping up those trees at the start of year one. I don't know if I've got the stomach to go through that again over here. I really don't. But it does seem almost a shame to just throw away, you know, good sources of wood. Maybe I'll do something with the branches. You know, get rid of the branches and just do something with the trunks. Maybe chip the trunks or sell the trunks. I don't know. A lot of things to think about, I suppose, when it comes to these trees. It's kind of hard to see exactly what needs to be cut away as well, thanks to these bushes. Pretty sure that's already been done. Yes, it has. In fact, I think that's pretty much. Maybe this one here needs a bit of a delit. Where's the tree stump? I can't even see it. There we go. Yeah, I think that tree's clean and cut. No, this one here. There we go. So that one's done. Let's do this one. A little bit of a seesaw at the end there once we cut rid of some of those limbs there. Any more? Yes, still a couple more. I think we've done all of those trees now. Really, it's tough to see with these bushes everywhere. How many more? Not many more to go. go. Well, this one's already done, isn't it? Yeah, this one needs doing though. Yeah, I really don't like working with these oak trees when it comes to doing lumber. Like I say, they are just so much of a chore to do. Because the branches are so spindly and they go in all weird directions. They make them just very difficult and time consuming to do. And all these spindly little branches, they're worth so little in comparison to anything else on the tree. And you tend to get more sort of errors and issues trying to work those limbs than you do with other trees and other parts of trees. You know, they glitch around in the jaws of your telehandlers and your front loaders. They cause issues trying to put them through wood chippers, from time to time. They just they could be so much easier to do. Tree physics have got better from Farming Sim 15 to 17, but there's still definite room for improvement. So maybe we'll see improved tree physics as part of Farming Sim 19. Obviously we have had some details. Kind of went through those in Big Bud Farm on Sunday, but yeah, a lot of new potential bits of gameplay features being added in. No real details, and we're not likely to get any details until E3 now at this point. And like I said, they've announced, mainly because of the What's Next event in Paris that Focus Home were doing, and now that that's done and out the way, we're probably not going to hear much more. We might get little, as I say, little dribs and drabs of information from Lissitan or Lars on the forums, but the vast majority of any info that he was going to give out has been given out now, and it's just a case of waiting now for the next big announcement, which is, as I say, probably going to be in the build-up to and during E3, and then we'll start to probably see some gameplay footage emerging from Gamescom, which will be, I think, a couple of months later. That's usually around August time, and then the game itself, we're probably looking at sort of a late September, October kind of release. That seems to be the traditional kind of release window for farming simulator games, is sort of around end of September, October time. So I don't see any reason why this one would be any different at all. Obviously, when Farming Sim 15 came out on consoles, that was a little different. That came out in May, but it had already been out since October the previous year on PC, and that was like, because of the time it took to get it sort of coded and converted ready over to consoles. With 17, it was a dual launch, and it's going to be dual launched from here on forward. And for everyone who was saying, oh well, this is a PC only title, it shouldn't be on consoles, Giants themselves have said, we will we have absolutely zero plans to go back to a PC only franchise. This is very much a multi-format game, and will continue to be so for a very long time. So it's here on consoles to stay. So all those little rumours that started popping up a little while ago, which were complete rubbish, and I don't know if anyone actually believed them, but all those people that would pop up and say, well, Farming Sim 19 isn't going to be on consoles, it's going back to PC only, utter rubbish. It's just trolls trying to get a reaction out of people, and unfortunately they did get a reaction out of some people. Same as there's going to be no mods for Farming Sim 19 on console. Again, utter rubbish. It's going to happen. It's not something that they are going to withhold from console players in Farming Sim 19. Once again, they will be doing a FarmCom in Germany this summer, and once again they'll be doing workshops there to help people convert mods over from Farming Sim 17 to Farming Sim 19, including console mods. So Yeah, again, if you hear rumours saying that mods are not coming to console on 19, ignore them. They are trolls trying to get a reaction out of you. So don't give them the satisfaction. Right, we've done pretty much all we can today, apart from start really cutting up these trees. And I don't really want to get into that today. We've cut them down. You can see, if I climb this branch here, actually this one here will get me a bit more height. You can see that kind of strip of land that we've cleared away all the way up there. This is going to run from where this field is now, basically. The field is going to run straight up there, like that. All that's going to be extra land. It's going to shallow out this curve area here. It's going to shorten this curved section here. And then, you know, we could even possibly take an extra row or two out as well. And there's nothing to stop us from, when we get field 51, sorry, field 50, actually putting in a curved piece like that, sort of a curved diagonal piece going back up to that field there. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. We've got to acquire that field first, and that's something that we're going to be working to rather than just buying with mob money. So let's get rid of the last of this money so it doesn't get spent. Let's put it in the bank. Let's pay off some of this loan. We'll ease that debt right down so it minimises the amount of penalties we're going to suffer in terms of loan interest for the rest of this year and for some of next year. And as I say, that money is kind of earmarked. It is going to get spent next summer on the New Holland forage harvester, this here, the FR850, and then the two headers that I want to buy to go with it as well, which will be these two here, the chaffing header and the poplar header. But apart from that, you know, it's just going to sit there. So our finances are looking much, much better now. 435,000 in debt. We can extend our loan even more now if we wanted to, because the value of our land and equipment has gone up significantly thanks to those, you know, recent acquirements and additions. But I don't really want to absolutely hammer us financially next year if I can get away with it. You know, the plan, as I say, is to, you know, expand the field, allocation a bit more naturally next year, you know, through hard work. We've got some good equipment. We've got a good number of fields to keep us busy next year. So a lot of land that we can be working to really bring in some big crop hauls. And it's going to be a lot of hard work, but I think we're going to have some fun along the way. So we'll attack these trees tomorrow. That'll be our kind of task for tomorrow. And we'll probably look at selling some wood chips at the sawmill as well. So that's all for me today. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I'll be back with another episode of Seasons in the Valley very soon.